Janice here again. How have you been? How are you doing? Great to be with you. God is good to be keeping us up to this day. We give all thanks to Him. I'm here as usual to share the little readings that I do with you guys out there. And thank you so much for being with me in this journey. It's a big journey. And I know in the next possibly 5 years or plus, we shall have grown in numbers from the 200 plus that I currently see that receive the message, possibly 1,000 or 1,000,000 or plus of people getting some of these kinds of words. They look usual. I know we've gone through some of these stories we've read in our primary, secondary, up to wherever, church, school, all those things. But when we get busy into our normal routine, into our normal life, looking for what to eat or invest or do what, we forget some of the teachings that or we forget to uphold the importance or the values that come with such stories. And they are from the Bible, the biggest book, the biggest selling book that has about 58 books in it. Good readings. So I'm here today to talk about the parable of talents. The parable of talents, and which is that kind of story that prepares us for the return of the Lord. And when He returns, what are the expectations that He's going to find us with? And before He left the children of Israel, He prepared them. So the story is about Jesus telling, the servant, I would say the servant and the master, where the master, before leaving the home, you'd call it the home or the kingdom, gets some servants, like 3 of them, but of course the best ones, and shares with them some kind of resources and has expectation that on his return, because the journey was not known how long he was going to keep there, but on his return, there should be some progress. There should be some more improvement compared to when he left the kingdom or the home. That's the story written about that. So this master leaves the home and gets the 3 servants and gives one 5, they call it mina in some of the ways. In others, you'd say gold or some parcel, gives 5 to the first one. Gets to the second one, gives 3 mina, gold, money, capital, you'd call it that. And the third one gives that person 1. And he leaves without saying so much of what these people should use these things or this money or this capital or this mina, how they should use it anyway. So when he leaves, the one who was given the 5 invests it into different things and doubles it. And the other one who was given the other 3, he also invests that and doubles it. The other one, the third one, who was given 1, fears. Full of fears to take risks, and buries the coin into the ground. So when the master returns, wants a report on how things went while he was away. The one who was given 5 says, I did this and this, and here I've returned maybe 10, 2 times more. The other one who was given 3 also says, I've done this and this, and here are the 3 plus more, maybe 6. The other one says, to me, my Lord, I fear that it would be stolen or ABCD. I buried it in the ground. I kept it really very safe and brought it as it was. The servant or the master glorifies the other two who had done all their best to multiply the coins that they were given, and he scolds the third one who was given one and returned it as it is. This is the story about business mindset. This is a story about investment. This is a story that reflects or puts us in a sense of thinking that God loved us to multiply what He gave us in terms of talents, in terms of capabilities. We are able beings and we have the capacity to multiply the little that we are given. Most of our cultures, they give us resources. They educate us. Some they give us properties. And what do we do with the properties? Do we act like the other third servant who buries the little that is there and returns it as it is, or even destroys everything that is there and comes with bare hands? Or do we act like these three who go out to the world, do all they are capable of doing and multiply what the resource envelope was or what the investment was before we left our homes? I leave this question to you. I know you understand what I'm talking about. In some cultures, it's not the way, but at least in the African setting, that's the kind of thing that is normally done. The Bible brings it out clearly. So when we are left with these resources, I know when I talked about the Garden of Eden, when man was put into the garden and they ate the forbidden fruit, the next repercussion was to fire them out of the garden. Yeah, but here is an interesting one where the servants were given coins and they were supposed to go out there and multiply them. And it gives us scenarios of the two who did their best and multiplied them, but the other one feared for it to be lost and returned it as it is after burying it in the ground. Yeah, the thinking is investment starts with us. Thinking broadly, widely starts with us. We don't have to act like the third one. We don't need to be scolded by God. As able beings who are created in the image of God, we have the potential and the capacity to replicate all that we have, all the coins that we are given, at least to make them 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but of course, it also indicates that when these 5, when the other first servant was given the 5, ultimately there should have been somebody who lost some of the coins to him to multiply them, or for them to make an interest or to gain some level of more capital. So one must have lost the other. So were these other servants in the kingdom were doing different things, maybe also they had some level of resources, but there was somebody losing something. So the third one who buried it in the ground and returned it as it is, much as he was scolded, the fear was real, it was there. The story tells us he feared and he buried it in the ground. He must have read the environment and it found it not pleasing, so that it prompted him to do that. There is no fear to lose, we must have to gain. Investment is a progressive. Invest what you have, let it multiply, but keep in mind the world is competitive, and as we do all those things, of course, some will profit, some will lose. And that's the story about the talents. How do you utilize the talent that you are given to multiply the little that you have to bigger things in a world in a world with about 7 billion people, where the other one is about 1%, is among the top. You call them on the income ladder, they are among the top, and all the others literally almost work for the other ones. Somewhere also in the Bible it says, those who have more will gain more, and those who have little, even the little that they have will be taken away from them by those who have more. And that is prominent, and that's going around, and that's there, and we are witnessing it happening in our faces. You have to stand and know your potential. You have to know your potential. You have to know you are created in the image of God, and you have the power to discover the abilities you have, and you can deploy them massively and gain more. I remain Dennis, the passionate farmer, omulimi atali mukugu wabula omulimi who loves farming.